Hello students, good morning and welcome to the session of EVS 2. Today we are going to continue with the second part of our home and environment. So as we have discussed in our previous video about different types of houses. Here also in the picture you can see the different styles of houses. So as time went by, humans went on making suitable changes in their shelter. We keep on changing our types of houses according to our need and facilities. So earlier in the starting, when humans were apes, they used to live on a tree. Then when they started walking on a ground, they used to live in a cave. Then they build houses with stones. Then they start building houses with the help of leaves and bamboos. And then we started, when we settled at one place, then we started building this kind of houses. Then this. Then we come to this type. And then we come to this type of buildings. So here changes keeps on taking place. Lot of changes has come right from ancient times till now in everything, even in the construction of houses also. So let's see what types of materials are used in building houses. Here are the materials given. So what are the materials used? Bricks, cement, iron, wood, water, rubble. Rubble means small stones, glass, floor tiles, sand, roof tiles, tin sheets. These are the materials which is used for construction houses and buildings. And original sources are given. For bricks, what is the original source? Sand. For cement, limestone. For glass, sand. For wood, what we have? Tree. For water, what we have? River and pond and many things, correct? For rubble also we have big stones are broken into pieces, small pieces, which makes rubbles. So all these things have their original source. Few of them I have told, remaining you can find it. So let's see what is given over here. In this picture, see these children visiting in the site of construction. You can see in the picture. Now here you see different types of pictures over here. One is showing a launch extracting sand. The another is of forest fire, felling trees and forest, quarrying, drawing excess water. Now what does this picture means? So to understand the pictures, let's go through the passage what is given over here. The population of the world is increasing all the time. Everyone knows that very well, that continuously the population of the world is keep on increasing. And that is why houses are being built in large numbers. So there is a need of lot of houses, because the more population will be there, the more families will become, and all the families will require house. And that's why we require lot of houses. For making houses, what are we using? Obviously, we are dependent on our natural resource. We use our natural resource in very great quantities to build these houses. They are obtained using the methods listed below. Now, how we are making those things available to us to make our house? By the methods which is given over here with the black dots. These methods are very harmful to the environment, and it leads to the pollution of water, air and soil, and also cause noise pollution. Means the method which we are using to make materials which we are using for building our houses are very harmful to our environment. So let's see the method what is used. Digging up hills for quarrying, which you can see here. What this machine is doing? Breaking the stones. So what are we doing? For making available sand and rubble and stones for building our houses, we break big hills. We break big mountains, and that is called quarrying. Then comes extracting sand from seashores and riverbeds. We require sand also. So where are we getting sand? You can see here in the picture, a launch is there extracting sand. It is removing sand from the river bed or from the seashore. So they are removing sand. Because of that also it creates pollution. Then third comes extracting stone and earth from the ground. Removing stone and earth from the ground, as like you can compare this picture also. Removing the stone from under the ground. This is breaking hills. But from the ground also the stones and all the things are removed. Then comes drawing out excessive amount of groundwater. The picture is shown here. Removing the groundwater. From where we can remove groundwater? Through the well. So removing lot of water from the well is called excessive amount of groundwater using. Then comes felling trees to clear land. This picture, cutting trees. And then comes filling up ponds, lakes, streams, river, creeks and low-lying areas to reclaim land. Many times what happened? To make our land much bigger, what we do? We fill the lands. We filled our ponds and river areas with mud and rubble and all, and we make it as a land. So because of growing urbanization, land which was previously being used for agriculture and similar other purpose is now being used to build roads and to raise settlements. So now what's happening? Because of continuously increase in the city area, what is the meaning of urbanization? Urbanization means increase in the city. Now slowly most of our villages are transforming into cities. They are turning into towns and then they are turning into cities. And because of that, the land which was previously used for agriculture and other purpose, now that land is used for building roads and bridges and all. So when this leads to shortage of agricultural land. So because of this, what's happening? Our agricultural land is going under the construction of roads and bridges. And there is lack of land available for agriculture. Very less land is available. Forest land is used for agriculture. Now what is the option for the farmers? Because their land is used for roads and bridges and all. So where are they going to do agriculture? So what are they doing? This. They are putting forest in fire. They are burning the forest and cleaning the land to do their agriculture. Trees are felled. They cut the trees in great numbers and forests are reduced. And because of this, what's happening? Our forest is continuously keep on decreasing. It keeps on reducing. And also wild animals, birds are also badly affected by it, because by burning forest we are burning their houses. To construct our houses, we are destroying the houses of animals and birds. Now energy is needed to produce construction material. For constructing also we need energy, as like you can see, for running this launch also we need energy, for running this machine also we need energy, for running this motor pump also we need energy. So it is used on a large scale to prepare bricks from soil, cement from limestone, as like for making all these things lot of energy is required. For making bricks, for making cement from limestone, for making glass from sand and so on. So where does the energy come from? It is produced using natural fuels. What natural fuels we are using? Coal, natural gas or mineral oil we are using. They get consumed when we use them. And what about this coal, natural gas and mineral oil? When we use, it get finished. We consume them. Moreover, burning these fuels leads to what? when we burn mineral oil, natural gas, coal, it leads to air pollution. It takes lakhs of years for these sources of energy to form in nature, and once they are getting finished, it's not formed very easily. How much time it requires to form again the coal and mineral oil and natural gas? It takes lakhs of years to form again. That is why it is necessary to bring into use other sources of energy such as solar energy or wind energy. So instead of using the energy which is getting finished off, we should find another option. We should search for the substitute. Now what are the substitute for coal and mineral oil and gas and other things? Substitute is solar energy or wind energy, which is available in plenty and they will never get finished off. How much we are going to use, they will never finished. And also one more uses is they never creates pollution. So these are non-exhaustible sources of energy. There are energy is divided into two types, exhaustible and non-exhaustible. Now what are exhaustible? What are exhaustible energy? Coal, natural gas, mineral oil, petrol, diesel, all these are exhaustible energy. Means when we use, they get finished off. Now which energy is called non-exhaustible? Solar energy, wind energy, okay? All these energies, tidal energy, are called non-exhaustible because the more we are going to use, they are not going to finish off at all. These energies are continuously there. How much we are going to use, there will be no effect on the energy. They are not going to decrease. All living things need shelter. We know that. Like humans, some other living things also build shelters. As I told, for making our shelter, we are destroying others' shelters like animals and birds. So we should take lesson from them that even animals and birds are also building their shelter. But what we are doing, are they doing the same thing? For building our shelter, we humans are destroying the environment, destroying our nature. We are using the lands which is used for agriculture, and then we are burning the forest. Do animals also do the same thing? No. So we should learn from them. By using the available resources which is available in the nature, they use those things and build their houses. But they don't harm the environment. Their houses are eco-friendly. So we should learn from the animals and birds, and we should try to build our houses also eco-friendly. So some other living things also build shelters using various materials in their environment. But last year we saw that their shelters are eco-friendly and temporary. What we have seen? The shelters made by, for example, we'll take bird. Bird build their nest. So where are they building nest? On the tree with the help of straw, whatever materials are available, they collect and build their nest. Does their nest harm anyone? Do they build their nest by destroying anything? No, not at all. Their houses, their nest are eco-friendly and temporary. For temporary basis, they build their house and then it gets blown away by the air, correct? So we should also be able to make permanent houses that are eco-friendly. We cannot make temporary houses. Of course, we are going to permanent house. But at least we can try to make eco-friendly houses. Now for making eco-friendly houses, what we can do, that we will see. Now how we can make eco-friendly houses? It is given over here. In the first picture, the house which you see is an eco-friendly house. Now what are the characteristics of these eco-friendly houses are given over here. What is the first one? Minimum consumption of natural resource. We should try to use less and less natural resource for building our house. Then what is the next one? use of non-exhaustible sources of energy such as biogas, wind energy and solar energy. Instead of using exhaustible energy which is getting finished off, which energy we should use? Non-exhaustible, like biogas, wind energy and solar energy. Then we should recycle water. We should not waste water. We should do recycling of water, then recycling of garbage. We should put our garbage separately, wet garbage separate, dry garbage separate, and then we can recycle our dry garbage and we can use our wet garbage for making different types of fertilizers, which is very useful for the plants. Then we can do avoiding artificial materials and artificial colors. We should not use artificial materials and colors in our houses. And the last, provision for natural light and ventilation in the house. We should make such type of house which should have big windows so that natural light can come and there will be very less need of electricity. During the day, if you have a big windows and big doors, then lot of sunlight will come into the house. There will be no need of using lights and bulbs. Correct? Even the air will come. There will be very less use of fans also. That's why we should use or we should make such type of houses. Now what is the meaning of ventilation? Ventilation means the air should come and go. Our house should not be packed. Ventilation, proper ventilation should be there so that we can get fresh air. Now here some of the here do you know it is given underwater shelters. What is shown over here in the picture? Inside the water they have made hotels. Rooms are there where you can rest, where you can sleep, and also along with that you can see the world inside the water, which is called water tourism. Water tourism has now become an important occupation in some places. In some places there are underwater shelters for tourists. From these shelters we get a direct view of the seabed, which you can see over here, and the amazing marine life. This particular area is built on the seabed, deep under the water. So with the help of this, and it is the side of walls of this room is made up of glass, so you can clearly see the outside world of water. Such shelters are observed in the coastal regions of Europe and North America. Now here are again some general knowledge is given about our city, Mumbai. The city of Mumbai comprises how many islands? Earlier it was looking like this. It was the group of 7 islands. The portion of water bodies between them were filled. In the second picture you see this part of water is filled. Correct? With what? With stone and earth. Why we filled this water body? This water body and we made land? To create land, correct? Later settlements, roads and industries were developed on, and then we see this type of structure is there of our Mumbai. The more and more land is made useful to live for the people. So because this reclaimed land is in a low-lying area, because reclaimed land means the land which we claimed by filling it. Earlier it was water body, now it become land. So that's why it's called reclaimed land. And mostly this kind of land is a low-lying area. And because of that, it easily gets waterlogged. So every year the problem which we are facing of waterlogging during rainy season now which is going on, correct? Lot of problem we are facing of waterlogging. So this is happening because of reclaimed land. They are low-lying area and very easily water is getting accumulated over there. So when there is a heavy downpour, downpour means when there is a heavy rain, lot of water accumulated in low-lying areas. So what we have learned today in this chapter? In this chapter, we observed a variety in the types of house constructions in region of different climate. And then houses are built to suit the climate of that region. We have seen different types of houses which suits the climate. Then we have seen different materials all obtained from nature are used to build houses. Different types of materials are used to build houses. Then we have learned we should be judicious in using energy. We should not misuse the energy. We should be judicious. Judicious means we should use it very properly. It is necessary to increase the use of non-exhaustible sources of energy. We should use non-exhaustible sources of energy instead of using exhaustible. Then the second last is, it is necessary to build eco-friendly houses. We should try to make our house eco-friendly. Then the last, we must take care that the environment is not harmed. We should see that because of us, our environment should not get harmed. With this, we have finished with the chapter. In the next chapter, I'll continue with civics. Till then, take care.